What's that sound?
I'm pumping my calves. Women don't understand the pressures put on men's bodies.
So sticky!
Fucking gross.
Hey Ian, how's that? How you doing?
Hey. Hi everyone.
Your time starts now.
And we're doing Harley Quinn, right? You guys are working on okay, so I just want to make sure we're on the right track. All right, so my question is, congratulations on getting that season 4, because there was a lot of doubt there between that transition between 3 and 4 and the acquisition deal. That was either way, but congratulations. So what do we have planned that you guys were not able to do that last season, that you had on pen and paper, that we could finally see animated in season 4?
That we were not able to do last season?
Yeah.
You know, we never really had like many restrictions, you know, like on what to do, especially, you know, with the violence, you know. We don't really like get a lot of censorship on the violence, you know. Sometimes we do with the sex scenes and the nudity, but I mean, you'll see in the Valentine's Day special, you know, like we really push the limit there, you know, with giant veins, you know, naked giant veins, screwing the city to the ground. So, you know, we don't really have a lot of limitations, you know, to start with, and it really depends on the script, you know, like whichever script we get, you know, like from that point, you know, we decide where to take it. But I wouldn't say that we just start, you know, with like a set of like, we can't do this or we cannot go there. You know, we always start, let's try to do this and see how far we can push it.
Okay, so yeah, there's nobody over your shoulder saying, no, you can't do that on this episode. Or
well, I mean, I think the writers and the showrunners and the executive producers have the clear idea of where they want to go and end up every season, you know, and every season they end up there by the next season to set up where Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are going together for the next year or, you know, the next season of the show. And I think we were just lucky that we had so many fans at Max and with James Gunn that the show could continue from where it left off in season 3 and really just push forward with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy's relationship and see how they grow in Gotham and as a couple and in just the DC universe.
Right. We're foreseeing in the future, actually, domination, complete that Harley Quinn and Ivy to the universe, I call it, like the counter of the Justice League. She wants to be like the head of. Are we gonna get to that point finally, or we don't know?
Well, I mean, you'll have to watch the season to know. But you definitely see her, you know, trying to become like Ivy is trying to become like a leader. You know, you definitely see that, you know, when she becomes the CEO of the LOD, you know, so she's really trying to become that supervillain. And, you know, whether she succeeds or not, you know, you'll have to see that.
Yeah, and we do play around. Yeah, and we definitely do play around with the idea of like Poison Ivy is so ridiculously powerful just in her power set, and then you add that on top of now she's running a crew of all of the most dangerous supervillains. You really do play around with how dangerous she is, and you know that has to juxtapose with, and now Harley is a hero, and her girlfriend is capable of destroying the planet.
With the, I guess, the live-action DC at best is mixed review. There's a lot of controversy around that, but I think we all can agree that the Harley Quinn show is fantastic, and the WB, that animated world is fantastic. Why is it that the animated movies are so good, the animated series are so good, but DC just doesn't seem to work as well on the live-action side? What kind of freedoms do you guys have compared to what that they lack?
Well, I think that DC, feature film, you know, they're trying to sort of like work towards like a very complex universe, kind of like what Marvel tried to do with their universe, you know, and I think that's really hard. It's really complicated, you know, because you're like, you know, extending a story that will span, you know, 10, 20 movies, you know, and it's really hard to keep it together and to like make sure that every story is interesting and compelling and that everything kind of like, you know, progresses naturally, you know, in this like span of this huge story that you're trying to tell. Animation, I think, is more contained, you know, so it's a little bit easier, you know. I don't think you're trying, the scope of it is smaller, so you can like really focus, you know, like individual stories without worrying too much what's happening, you know, in a parallel dimension, in a parallel universe. you know, you don't feel the need to like make sure that, you know, everything like points to like that final thing, you know, in the span of like 3 or 4 DTVs. So I think you have a lot more freedom, you know, to like just concentrate on like one contained story, you know, and just focus on that. And, you know, without having to worry, you know, how that's going to affect, you know, other projects, you know, or other series.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we're huge fans of the DC live action universe. Like, we watch all of it, every show, every movie, you know, bottomless glut for that sort of thing. And I know also the EPs love it too. And I think Harley Quinn really succeeds because it is a show written by fans and directed by fans and made by fans that love all that and have been watching everything DC going back until the late 70s. And, you know, we try to check our Easter eggs and our love for all that content into Harley Quinn. I think that's why it succeeds, because it's clearly made by fans for fans of the universe.
So I know, obviously, we just heard you drop a bunch of words behind us. Like, what's like the list of languages, like different curse words we're going to be able to get through this next season of Harley Quinn?
I would say, like, you know, my favorite cursing, and not that it's like that bad, but we are going to be introduced to, in universe, one of the biggest celebrities is a talking parrot named Jeffrey. I don't believe that this is canon. I think just the showrunners or the writers or EP came up with, and his catchphrase is "Gotcha, bitch!" And, you know, like, that's one of the things before a show comes out, no one's heard it, nobody's seen it, and we can't stop saying it to each other. So you're in a grocery store and you come up and you're like, "Gotcha, bitch!" So I would say that's been my favorite thing, just because I cannot stop saying this. Like, in the fall, I won't do my parrot voice, but like every time, that one gets me every time it comes up over the course of the season.
Honestly, my favorite cousin is Ivy's. You know, Lake Bell, when she improvises like her cuss words, she's so funny. You know, it's like, and the funniest, like, you know, cuss words like combinations, like son of a cake dick. You know, it's like the weirdest thing. It's like, what? Where did she get this one from? You know, so it's like it's so funny. You know, and you know, we just use it for humor. You know, and like we were saying before, you know, sometimes it feels like too much. You know, and then we'll like cut back a little bit, but we're always looking for that laugh.
Is a cake dick a cake with a dick, or a dick made of cake?
It's like, I don't know, that's exactly what she said, but it's like she just puts like combinations of words, you know, that are so funny, and it's just, you can't help but laugh, you know, it's like, what? Because it's so weird. You know, it's strange. So it's really, really funny.
Thank you guys, we appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
I'm going with cake dick.
My piece.